Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Geek Zone. I am Will, and this is Naval Action. This is a new one, isn't it? Hey, hey, hey. So, as I said in my previous vlog, which went up, today, I want to be focusing on more wargaming games in general. Not wargaming as in the company, but wargaming as in war games. So, for instance, this is Naval Action, a exquisite, beautiful alpha. Yes, alpha. Now, I hate the fact early access, and I didn't buy this on early access. I bought this from their website, but nevertheless, it is, well, for all intents and purposes, an early access game. But it's one I have a great passion for, about the end product, the thing they have in mind anyway, and a soft spot for. So since I was a little boy, must be like 4 or 5, maybe younger, my mum and dad have always taken me on sailing holidays. So we're talking sort of 15, 16, 17 years. So we're talking a long time I've been sailing. So when a game comes in with one age of sail ships, like the HMS Victory, and this here, the Lynx, my instant reaction is, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So what I want to do today is just go through this little bit of gameplay. It was a nice little game me and Viper were playing, and sadly the enemy had 2 AFK players, and so we obviously won. And yeah, it was a nice little game. I want to show off some of the moves you can do and some of the things, and just go through the whole game. But first of all, I need a disclaimer: this is an alpha game. Any bugs you see are because it is an alpha game. Any freezes or anything like that, and I'm pretty sure there's none in this. And personally, I have had no crashes, hardly any freezes, and when they have been freezes, they were like a second and gone, and no bugs. I've had nothing stupid happen to me, and generally it's been really good experience, especially for an alpha. Now, first of all, I'm going to go through the UI. The UI again is very, very bare bones. It is an alpha. There's hardly anything here. You can see like the buttons down at the bottom are really minimalist. They're literally placeholder, just been shoved in there kind of thing, and that's because it's alpha. They wanted to get the gameplay sorted before they got the UI sorted, and I think they went the right way with that. They got sort of the minimum UI they needed, and then went for gameplay. So down the left hand corner, and this is a damage chart I just brought up, so you can see if your shots are actually penetrated and stuff. So down the bottom left hand corner, when the damage chart disappears, you have a little compass. The compass then has wind direction, your ship direction, your sail direction. You can see I've got skipper and auto in that, so my sails, because I'm brand spanking new to the game, I'm only playing it about a day, and what that does, it sets all my sails and stuff to do it automatically. The skipper will control the vessel automatically. I still move the vessel, but the computer automatically changes the sail. This is what I believe anyway at the moment, is automatically changes the sail direction. I don't need to control that. So this is the first ship. Technically this is the first ship you get. If you buy into the early alpha, there'll be a link in the description. You also get a second ship called the Yacht, but I was playing this one because this ship is the only ship that this ship lets you progress through the other ships, like water tanks. The other ship doesn't, and I'll explain to you that in another video. But yeah, you can see here, you've got the wind in the bottom left hand corner, you got the crew, the 100% sails, you got 100% full. I do believe that's my speed as well, what sort of I've set to. So I've tapped W and I've gone up to full, and all my sails are up, and as you go down from full to, I think it's medium, and then slow, and not very slow. There's another one underneath slow, it's something slow, and then a stop. And of course everything has momentum, so if you go straight down to stop, your sails will go up, and it'll still take some time for you to sort of stop. You see there, we've got shot, so it's pretty nice effects there. And how gorgeous is this game for an early access game? It's absolutely beautiful. So again, you've got down the left hand side as well, left center, you've got left ammo, right ammo, front ammo, back ammo, because of course in the bigger ships, you can see across from me there, Viper Bow and SOS, they are in a Briggs, I believe, and they have front and back cannons as well as left and right. See, me and my little Lynx has only got side cannons, and only got 4 of them. And then what you see is you also have, you can change out your ammos for stuff like chain, which is good at taking out masts. You've got ball shot, which is what I'm using here for doing general long range damage. You've got double shot, which is good for, same as ball, but I think it shoots to get us 2 balls, and it's good at close range. So it's a bit like a shotgun. You have, you also have one more, which is grape shot, which is like little ball bearings, obviously bigger than ball bearings, but ball bearings shoved down a barrel of a cannon, shot out into a, and it's very, very close range, and you shoot it out onto the deck of an enemy ship, and it's good at taking out crew. And then when you got the crew down to enough that you feel like you can take it over, you can go up along the side of the ship, press G, and it'll start boarding. Now after you've started boarding, sadly I don't do this in this game, but I have done it, it's hilarious and just brings you full of a feeling of, oh my god, I just did this. But anyway, after you've boarded, you have a chance, if they've got a bigger ship for you, instance, you can take it over. Now I did this, and what happens is I took over the ship, and from there I boarded the ship, I took it over, I started sailing around and realised that it had hardly any repair kits that I'll get onto in a minute. It had 1 left. Its hull was knackered because I just put so many shots into it. Its sails were screwed. It had the same number of crew I did because I took it over. But genuinely, it was the tier above this ship. It was the Carter or something like that. But it was just generally a terrible ship because I had done so much damage to it. Okay, so another thing is down the right hand, like opposite to the left ammo, right ammo, down the left hand side, you've got the right hand bit, which is repair count. So they added in repair into the game. You got your rudder, which helps you steer, for those of you who are not sort of sailor savvy. Also, I'm going to use left, right, forward, front, back, because aft, starboard, and stuff like this, some people get really confused with it, so I won't be using that. You've got magazines, pumps, rudders, and then obviously you've got your sails and your hull has the armour. So, from the repair, I'll explain to this a little bit more in detail, but to do that, I'm going to go up to the top left hand screen, and you can see those 4 bars, like health bars. So obviously the left and right one, or the bottom and top ones, are your left and right, and this is your armour. When this is gone, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be sunk. It does mean you're going to be heavily damaged. It doesn't mean you're going to be sunk though. It just means the amount of armour you have on your ship, they can do more or less damage to you. Oh, look at that shot, beautiful shot, beautiful shot. Oh yeah, smashing you down. I do believe Eagle's in a snow, which is the one above a brig, and that's what we're trying to focus down right now. We're really trying to focus down that snow. Also, this menu here, I bring it up automatically, pressing L. It doesn't pop up every time you do damage. So anyway, and then you can see the left and right ones are my rear and front health armor as well for the ship, and obviously they're smaller health bars because it's a smaller part of the ship and slightly weaker. So anyway, you on an enemy, when you look at an enemy, it comes up in the right hand corner, like there you do. You have like Terezi's one, and you can find out where it's the best place to shoot. Do you want to actually? They've got loads of armor on the front, but no armor on the side. So on the left hand side, so I might as well just smash him in the left hand side instead of the front, and go on and so on and so forth, and go through that. And through that, you can start putting holes in their ship and sink them. Now, when I say sink them, I do mean sink them. As you put holes in the ship, water will start to enter your ship, and that's where the pump comes in. Oh, one of the repair kit things is you can heal armor, by the way. That was the point of me saying about the armor. You can use a repair kit to repair your pump and your rudder and your magazines, just in case they get damaged by getting fired upon. And that's the other bits. The pump helps you pump out water from your ship. So as you start getting holes put into you, depending on the water line of your ship, the water line on your ship, for instance, so you can see I'm quite high up in the water here. If anyone put a hole in my ship, let's say I missed this guy by millimeters, and the cannonball hit the water just next to him, the cannonball would still be going. So it'd hit the water, still go through the water, hit the side of his ship, and obviously be a lot less penetrating. But then it has a chance to penetrate his ship, and if I can get a hole in him underneath the water line, then it may have a chance of going through his hull and letting in the water as the hole is underneath the water line. So then your ship starts to sink. Now, not very quickly, because I mean one hole it's not a huge amount, and your crew's obviously going to start helping a little bit, but down the bottom right hand you see sail, gunner and survival, and the little green round circle. So at the moment I'm on sail, so my crew is focused primarily on sailing when I start getting into gunfights. And to be fair, I haven't really started switching out crews very often. I keep forgetting to do it again. I'm new to the game, so new things. But I really like this system. So when I start firing, I should switch to gunnery. Increases my reload speed, increases my accuracy, and stuff like this. Just gives a small little buff. But of course, if I'm taking on a lot of water and I'm using gunnery, I'm going to be taking on a lot more water than if I was using survival. And then my crew is going to be focused on patching up my ship and trying to survive. And that's what I really like. So if you're starting to take on a lot of water, primarily late game, you start to switch over to survival and focus on that a lot more. Then the green circle next to survival slowly loads up, and then it loads up whatever crew. That's the amount of time it takes for your crew to get into the position to start doing that job. And that's more or less the UI elements. And you see, there's a lot of information. I think just like tanks, we have to focus on what ammo types you're using. You have to use ammo types in here as well. And your positioning isn't as important, but I mean later on when it gets to stormy weather and stuff like that, you've got to then focus more about taking time with shots and stuff, or not taking time with shots necessarily, but really where you're shooting and stuff like this. I've never actually done a stormy weather game, and my friends of mine have said, Viper and Ares have both said, it's both fun and bullshit hard at the same time. Because of course your ship is going up and down in stormy weather, and the sails, the waves are huge, and enemy ships are dipping and floating. And, you can see someone sinking there. So you see there, like someone took a shot on him and finished him off, and eventually just had too many holes in him and sank the ship. So there is sort of a health aspect into it as well, but it's it's less so obvious than something like World of Tanks. It's more like War Thunder, where you sort of... Actually, I think it's not like War Thunder at all, actually, really. You keep pumping shots into him until you put enough into him to really sink the vessel. And then, obviously, if you put a lot of shots into the side of him and use different sort of... Take out all his crew, he's going to then fail and stuff like this. Oh, I just got hit. Ow, that really hurt. So you can see there, I actually took a lot of damage there. My sails have gone down. I think my back hull has gone down as well. But because the collision wasn't full on, because the collision wasn't sort of in your face smash, it was sort of, I tried to turn, it was sort of pretty hefty nudge. It was definitely less so. But anyway, let's get on to what the future of this game is. So at the moment they're calling this a combat tests. These are combat tests. You get into a World of Tanks style of battle that lasts up to an hour, and they are testing combat. They are seeing how the guns fire and how the ships sail, and they're really getting it down and nailed to a simulation sort of level. And I love that. I love the fact that if you go into the wind on this sort of ship, you're not going to be doing anything if your sails aren't in the right position. I mean, if you're going into wind, you don't have any wind. The wind's going against you more than anything, and you're going to stop dead. And if you get the wind going along you really, really nicely, you can really go for it and just have a really nice sailing experience, as well as a fantastic shooting experience. And the noises and the sound assets of this game are fantastic. The crew on the deck is brilliant. It's all about the immersion into the world they've given you. And don't get me wrong, it's a very small world, and there's only matches like this, and I'd love it already. If it was just this, but obviously polished up a lot more, then I would love it. But the fact they're turning into a game that is more open world, persistent, and trading and piracy and sort of open world, like Elite Dangerous, but for battleships, Age of Sail ships. And that is what I'm so excited about. Going around with a group of my friends, trading and sitting there and getting attacked, and going and like seeing a man of war in the background, and me and my mates going, there's 4 of us, yeah, we could take that, and going for it and just sailing at it and taking it out. And we cannot wait for that. And it's going to be so fantastic. And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about this game. There's just so much going on with it, and I love it a bit. I love how much time they're taking just to nail down like things like the combat, things like the sailing and the way the sea looks and the way the sea feels and the way the sea reacts to your ship. You can see that right here. You can see the tilt and sway of my ship as the waves come in. It changes like the height and adjustments of my guns. Now something I've also got to talk about is the firing of your weapons. So obviously the firing of your weapons is left click to fire all your guns, space bar to fire one of your guns at a time. Sort of, you got a range, the weapons have travel time and dip, they're cannonballs, so I'm pretty glad they have that, because if it was hit scan I'd be extremely upset and confused. But so you have this, and as the cannonball hits you have the penetration of the armor and then the damage to the ship, and if you put a hole in it, so on and so forth. But then the wind comes into play as well. If I've got if I've got no holes on my right hand side and a lot of holes on my left hand side, I'm going to try and keep the wind hitting me from the left hand side, so the wind tilts my ship and the holes of that side of the hull stays out of the water more, letting less water in, and so on and so forth. Now another thing this does is, if I'm trying to take a long range shot and my guns can't reach, what I can do is I can try and position myself so the wind hits me in such a way that it leans my ship and tilts my ship, and my ship can then tilt, giving my arc of fire to my cannons the arc of fire on my cannons becomes greater, and I can then get a further shot off. And it's stuff like this that this game is very easy to play. It's very easy to jump into a game and get going and shoot your cannons, blah 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 blah. But if there's a good player out there, if there's a player like Viper, if there's a player like Ram JB, you are going to get destroyed. Because if he's in the same ship as you and he knows how to use the wind against you, not only is he going to be faster than you, not only is he going to be more maneuverable than you, not only is he going to be able to get longer shots off on you, he's going to freaking destroy you. Because he has such an advantage, and that's not due to the weather conditions he has and you don't. It's not because you have the same weather conditions. It's not due to the difference in the ships, because you'll have the same ships. That's down to using the aspects of the environment the game gives you, using the wind and the waves and the speed of them, using your ship to knowing your ship and knowing how to use it in certain circumstances and conditions and weathers. And using that, you can completely outplay people. Now over on Ram JB's YouTube channel, I'd suggest you go and look him up for really in depth, because he's a fantastic player, and as much as I want you guys to watch my videos, he's better than me. So I will be putting a lot of this content up, and I will be showing you a lot of this, but he's a better player than me. And until I get up to that level, I really can't say, if you want to learn off me, I can't say that, because I'm not good. But he has taken on two or three ships that are outclass and outmatch him, and he's gone in a smaller ship, a quicker ship, and he's used his the sails and the wind directions and the speed of his ship to completely outclass the enemy vessels. And that's where I get really intrigued. That's where I love it. Like World of Tanks, I'm in an IS 6, they're in an IS 6, but if I'm better than he is, I win. There's no sort of huge numbers. It's not like huge numbers of random numbers flying around. Don't get me wrong, there are random numbers when it comes down to sort of the accuracy of the weapons and stuff like this. But at the end of the day, if you're better than them, you win. And that's what I love about it. And when it comes down to the open world aspect, if you're a good player in that open world aspect, and you've run across someone with them. Let's say you're in a smaller ship, and they're in a man of war, and they are just terrible at the game, and you are pretty damn good. Then you're gonna get them. There is a chance there you can beat them, and that's what the appeal is for me. You can see this guy sinking pretty heavily here. Charles Chills. Well, whoever he is, he's going down, and I love it. This game has got so little in it right now. The UI is not there. It's only got, I think, nearly 10 ships. Actually, that's quite a good range of ships, actually. That's a really good range of ships. It's only got the combat modules. It's not got the full list of ships. It's got very basic UI, and already it's compelling to play. It's fantastic to watch, in my opinion, and it just feels great. And I'm really hoping I don't ram this guy. I can't remember ramming him, but please don't. Oh no, I'm gonna be okay. Anyway, guys, I think that's more or less me done for the day. I think we just got to clean up. Right now, there's two AFK members of their team. You can see in chat now, AFK hunting. We got to go over there and take them out. I just want to say a big thanks to everyone for watching. If you did like this, please remember to like and subscribe. If you didn't, then rate down and tell me in the comment section why. Tell me what I can improve, because at the end of the day, that's the only way I'm going to improve is if you guys tell me how to improve. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but that is changing now. And from today onwards, I've got 2 videos done already ready to go up for you guys. And I hope you have a great day. And remember to keep sailing and keep smashing. If you liked this video, how about liking and subscribing, and maybe even checking out some more of our videos.